Hey guys, and welcome back on a beautiful Friday to the Rain City Variety Pod. That's right, we have changed our names. Anyhow, I've got a fun little thing for us to talk about today. Um, I think we're going to talk about a thing called the Mandela effect. For anyone that doesn't know what that is, it was basically coined after Nelson Mandela, and the idea is majority of the population believes something in like a historic timeline to be this way. So, for example, someone dying, but then there's a smaller minority part of the population that believes something different happened. And but when I say minority, it's not like minority like 2-3%. We're talking like, let's say like 20%, 30%. Like it's pretty common to have these. I was even talking to Neve and her mom about them today, and as we went through, they almost on every single one thought different things from what the other one thought. So uh, I'm just going to start off, and we'll be giving them to you here, and you just kind of see what you think, and then I'll tell you which one is right. So we'll start with the one which it's named after, which is Nelson Mandela. Now, this was for me. This was shocking. So, do you think Nelson Mandela died in prison, or Nelson Mandela became the first president of South Africa, dying in 2013? The answer is he died in 2013, and he became the first president of South Africa. Now, for me, that's not at all surprising. It's kind of surprising to hear that people thought he died in prison, but apparently it's like it's quite a large number. That's the most. Again, they call this effect after him, so obviously quite a few people believed that he died in prison. Um, the next one we have up is The Thinker by Augusta Rodin, a sculpture from 1880. And I'm sure I don't know if you I think everyone knows what the Thinker is. So the Thinker is either a sculpture of a man with his fist on his chin or his forehead. So do you think it's the Thinker is the classic statue of the guy with the fist on his chin or his forehead? I go to chin right away. I didn't even have to think about this one. Um, and chin is correct. If you look at the statue, it is of his fist is on his chin thinking. But an interesting part of that, uh, there's a model named George Bernard Shaw. So if you Googled George Bernard Shaw posing, it's a man posing for, he was a model for Augusta Rodin. And the night that he unveiled the Thinker statue, he had this man do the pose. And the dude is doing it with his fist on his forehead. So it's kind of weird that on the night they have this come out, the guy that was posing for it did the forehead. Yet what we do see is for sure the chin. Um, okay, this one I thought was hilarious. Does anyone remember the movie Shazam with Sinbad? And it's about he was like a genie. Um, I have like I swear I have vivid memories of this. So, do you remember that movie? Because if you do, it's not a movie. It doesn't exist. And anytime you look it up, it right away will say people get Kazam with Shaq confused with Sinbad for some reason. But I swear to God, I thought Sinbad was in a movie where he was a genie. Does anyone else, or is that just me being crazy? All right, moving on. The Berenstain Bears, or Berenstain Bears, or the Berenstain Bears, the classics children's book about excuse me, about a family of bears that get up to no good deeds and live the family life. So do you think it is Bearstain, spelled Berestain, or do you think it's Bearstein, Berenstein? I guess it would be like kind of a Jewish pronunciation of it. Uh, I personally remember it as Bearstein, but it is Berenstain Bears. And then up, this is a cool one. I didn't know, I didn't think of this one until I looked it up. We Are the Champions. Does Freddie Mercury at the end does he end the song We Are the Champions with We Are the Champions, no time for losers? Or does he end it with No time for losers? Because We are the champions of the world. So does it end with of the world or no time for losers? I swear for me, I thought it was he says we are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world. And it's kind of like a shouted faded out, but that's not it at all. It's just, we are the champions. No time for losers. End. Weird. Even now, I think they should change it to that. Use some AI and put that in because that sounds better to me. So again, it just ends with no time for losers, not uh, of the world. Okay, this is another very fun one. Does the Monopoly Man have a monocle or no monocle? Um, I I personally thought he had a monocle, and he doesn't. So there's no monocle on the Monopoly Man. But now looking at it without him having a monocle on it, I don't think they should add it. Whereas when I first thought, I was like, even if there's no monocle, he should have one. But anyhow, that's just me side tangent. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. So yeah, the Monopoly Man has no monocle, uh, which is another one for me where I was like, the thing I think is crazy about all these Mandela effects is a lot of them I'm really confident in. It's not like for example, let's say Nelson Mandela dying in prison and him being the president, all that one. I think that one you actually do have to have a like you have to know some history. Of course, Nelson Mandela, like I think all of us kind of knew that, but we I don't know, we have an interest in history. I don't think it's too far of a reach to say like someone legitimately might not have any clue who Nelson Mandela is other than he's like a historic figure kind of thing. Where some of these other ones, like I was so confident in Berenstain Bears, Sinbad, same thing. We are the champions. This is another one that I was really confident in. I think I'll be interested to hear because this is gonna be a big one that everyone will have thoughts on. Does Pikachu have black on his tail or is it all just yellow? I thought Pikachu had little tiny black, not like stripes like on his back, but I thought each little curve of his tail had the point had a tiny little black shading on it, but it's not. It's all just yellow. Um, So was that just me? I'm interested to hear, honestly. I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts on all these, but what they feel. But I think the Pikachu one will be hilarious to see what people think. All right, we got two left for you here. We're gonna go with this one first. We'll leave with the biggest one for last, I guess. So Tiananmen Square, when the man stood in front of the tanks, was he run over by the tanks or was he removed with force? Um, Personally, I actually just didn't know. I just know the picture, know what was going on with Tiananmen Square. I didn't have any thought of what actually happened to him after. Apparently, a lot of people believed he got run over and there was blood everywhere. Like it was a very horrific thing for them to watch on live TV, and it really like hurt them to watch. I guess in reality, he was removed with force. Um, the one thing I will say is I wonder just people like being hysterical. I mean, for all these, there's super weird like things you can think about, like, but people being with Tiananmen Square, I can see that one. People just kind of with the with what was going on at the time, people just kind of being causing pandemonium and freaking out because like, oh my god, they're communists and they run over people and they just kind of overreact and blow it up. So that's what I think had happened. Anyhow, the guy was removed. He wasn't run over and smushed by tanks, but that is what apparently people will say they saw on TV and were shocked about. And for our last Mandela effect of the day, we've got Darth Vader. Now, here, does he say to his son Luke, I am your father, or no, I am your father? Or, sorry. Does Darth Vader say, Luke, I am your father, or does he just say, no, I am your father? The answer is he just says, I know I am your father. He does not say, Luke, I am your father. Um, Now that one's weird because I feel like that one just got spread because it's so catchy to like when we were growing up, we always used to, every kid would be making that joke. You'd be like, Gabe, I am your father. So I feel like that one may have just spread through more. It was fun to say that as opposed to a lot of these other ones I think are a bit different. That one I think might have just been through people using other names and then they assumed over time. Anyhow, I think that's a fun little thing to think about. Like, what did you guys think? Were you spot on? Did you get everything right, or did you get all of them wrong, thinking they were, or something in between? Which ones did you find interesting? Uh, I think it's interesting because I think the easy answer to explain the Mandela effect would obviously be just people's memories wrong. But the thing is, too many people think the same thing. Like, if I, for example, was like, yo, I'm pretty sure Pikachu had an all black tail, and I just said that, it doesn't really bring, like, it's like, okay, Derek just was, his brain was weird or he saw it differently. But again, these are all things that you will find a lot of people go on either side of it and they think they're right. And when I'd even suggest if even bringing these two people around you and just asking and see what they think. And it's funny to see their reactions. Or like I said, when I was with Neve and her mom, and I'd say, what do you think it is? And they both said opposites, but they were both like, no, it's this one, obviously. And it's just funny to see two people so certainly disagree on something and then have to look at the other person and be like, wait, what? Sorry, huh? So I'm going to read them one more time just so you guys can remember. So Nelson Mandela, did he die in prison or did he become the president and die in 2013? He became the president. The thinker, is his fist on his chin or his forehead? It was on his chin. Sinbad, the movie where he's a djinn called Shazam, does that exist? No, it doesn't. But I swear to God, it does. Bear Stain Bears or Bear Stein Bears? It is Bear Stain Bears. And then we have We Are the Champions. Does it end with Freddie Mercury fading out saying of the world, or just ends with no time for losers? And the answer is no time for losers. Does the Monopoly Man have a monocle? No, he does not. Pikachu have any black on his tail? Hell no. Darth Vader, he says, I am your father, not Luke, I am your father. And the man was not smushed at Tiananmen Square. And I'm going to leave you on that. I hope you guys all have enjoyed listening to this, and it's a little smile in your day on a beautiful Friday. I love all you listeners because you're all just my homies. So take care, everyone.